Okay, hi everybody. My name is Patrick Lynch. I'm the Head of International Affairs here at IT Sligo, based in the northwest of Ireland. You're very welcome to our Colleges of Ontario webinar. The format for this evening is I'm going to bring you briefly through about a 10-minute presentation which I'll share with you. Hopefully you can see that on the screen in front of you. And then I'll introduce some of our Colleges of Ontario graduates. I'll give you a little bit of a biopic or a profile on each of them within the chat box. And they will speak about their, I suppose, their transfer experience from the Ontario college system into a year 3 or year 4 of our honours bachelor degree programs here. Feel free to send them some questions as you go along using the chat box, and we will do our best to answer them as we go along. So again, you're very welcome. And so why IT Sligo and why Ireland in general? Well, the first things first, Canadian citizens, you don't require a visa to study in Ireland. You can complete an honours bachelor degree with 1 or 2 years of full-time additional study here. So generally, diploma students will get full 2-year exemption for the 2 years of study back in Ontario, and you can transfer into year 3 of a 3-year level 7 degree, or indeed year 3 of our 4-year honours bachelor degrees. Or alternatively, if you have a 3-year advanced diploma, generally speaking, you can transfer into the 4th and final year of our 4-year honours bachelor degree programs. There's over 50 undergraduate courses to choose from here across 3 schools or faculties. We automatically reduce tuition from €9,000 to €7,500 for Ontario graduates. Roughly that's around 11,500 Canadian. You can use OSAP, so you make your application through the Thunder Bay office as you ordinarily would. We will assist with that documentation or your application, and you can get approval for up to 10,000 Canadian to study overseas. We're also registered with the Canadian Revenue Agency, so if you're privately funded with familial funding or otherwise, you can write that cost off against future taxes. Again, we will assist with the preparation of your CRA, your tax returns, and we can complete that documentation on your behalf. All honours bachelor degree graduates here in Ireland are immediately entitled to stay back in Ireland for a period of 12 months, 1 year, under the graduate work permit scheme. Should you wish to take a part-time job during your studies, you can work up to 20 hours per week during term time and up to 40 hours a week outside of term time. Minimum wage is around 11 Canadian dollars per hour equivalent. So IT Sligo has been in the, I suppose, has had pathway agreements with up to 13 institutions within the Ontario system for the last 6 years or so. Last year we had 50 students from the Ontario colleges transfer into our bachelor degree programs here. So our history, I suppose, we have experience of operating in the market, and we have been there for the last 6 years. Just some frequently asked questions around the structure of the school year here. The school year starts in September, and we run a semesterized system, so we've got 2 semesters. The first semester runs generally from around the 2nd week in September through to the 2nd week in December, with examinations in January, generally around the end of the 1st week in January and the 2nd week. And the 2nd semester starts around the 3rd week in January and finishes around the 1st week in May, with examinations the 2nd and 3rd week in May. So it's a semesterized system with 2 semesters. Bookended, probably each semester has about 12 to 13 kind of contact weeks or teaching weeks. So you're talking about maybe 8.5 months from September through till May the following year in terms of yearly completion. Can you use OSAP? We've gone through that. Yes, you can. And you were registered with the CRA, as we just mentioned, so you can write the cost of tuition off against personal taxation. Can you defer entry? Yes, you can. So in other words, if you wanted to go off working for a year, or if you wanted to travel the world or do whatever you want to do, personal circumstances take over, you can defer entry. So in other words, if you were seeking to originally to transfer here in September 2018, you can defer until September 2019. Obviously, we just need to make sure that our curriculum hasn't changed in the meantime, and just make sure that all prerequisites are covered. But in theory, you can defer entry. Yes, you can. So what does the tuition of €7,500, around 11,500 Canadian, include? It includes airport collection. It also includes your medical insurance. So when you arrive in Dublin Airport, your first port of arrival in Ireland for the very first time, we'll actually collect you and bring you to Sligo. And we also include your medical insurance within that as well. Okay. Accommodation is not included. You'd probably need to budget another 8,000 or 9,000 euros. So that, sorry, about 8,000 or 9,000 Canadian, so about 20,000 Canadian for the year. And so about 8,000 9,000 Canadian budget for living expenses and accommodation. So accommodation is generally, in terms of student residences, is privately owned and managed. But there are 2 or 3 bedroom apartments. We have roughly around 2,500 bed spaces within the periphery of the campus, within 5 minutes walking distance. Some of the students, we have some students here with you who will join in the webinar later. Some of those may actually be availing of private housing options closer to the town centre itself, which is about a 10-minute walk away. There is a one-off cost, and that is whilst you don't need a visa if you're a Canadian citizen to come to Ireland, you are obliged within 90 days of arrival here to register with immigration locally and to purchase what's called a GNIB, your immigration card. We'll assist with an appointment for that. We bring the GNIB officer in as part of induction, and you basically just make an appointment with the local police station here. And Linda Loughlin is the GNIB officer, and she will process your documentation for you there. The cost for that is 300 euros, which is roughly around 450 Canadian dollars. That is the same for all non-European students. So there's an aerial shot of the campus. So it's a single campus environment, about 50 acres. So you'll see all of the faculty buildings there, and just dotted around the outside you'll see most, if not all, of the student residence accommodation. So you'll see in a coastal location, northwest of Ireland, surrounded by a tabletop mountain Dalboven in the background, Knocknarea across the bay, and a number of beaches literally within 5 minutes drive from the campus. And the town is 10 minutes walk away. So very central location, safe and friendly. So if you're into the outdoor life, Sligo is the place for you. So what student support services are available on campus? Well, exactly what you would receive back home in Canada, you can expect to receive here. So medical and counselling, and there's a GP and nursing clinic on campus as well. And you can make an appointment there free of charge. Access office for students who have physical or cognitive disabilities. And we have assisted learning technology supports and physical supports for all of those people. So access through our access office, and once we have a full report of whether it's a learning difficulty or whether it's a physical disability, we can ensure that the appropriate suite of supports are available to you. The careers office, we do have a careers fair generally within the first month of semester 1, where a lot of the major employers come on campus and are looking for graduates. You should use that service as well, and just for job opportunities pre and post graduation. Chaplaincy, we have a multi-faith prayer room, the sanctuary room here within the student services building. We are tolerant of all religious beliefs and faiths, so we're a very inclusive and diverse campus with over 40 different nationalities here on campus. So that's just an idea of some of the student support services building. To the right, the library building, to the left, within the student supports area, you have Students' Union, medical, counselling, all the suite of student support services you expect to receive. So that's right within the central block of the campus. Why Sligo? I suppose as a location, I suppose it's considered to be more affordable compared to some of the other larger regional cities. And you'll see some infographics there in terms of budgeted average monthly travel costs for somebody in Sligo as compared to, say, if you were studying in Dublin, which is my home city, or Galway, which is about 2 hours drive from here in the west. And you also see considerable savings in terms of the average cost of accommodation in Sligo per month. It's around 320 euros, which is roughly around just short of 500 Canadian dollars, compared to Galway, 420 euros, or in Dublin, 575 euros, which would probably be closer to about 800 Canadian dollars. So significant savings in terms of the average cost of accommodation, monthly travel costs, recreational activities, or food and utilities. So that's quite a useful infographic as to one of the other reasons why you might consider Sligo as a destination of choice for your study abroad options. Again, quite a fun infographic about Sligo as a location. It's considered very popular for outdoor sports, windsurfing, surfing generally, walking, the outdoor pursuits. So if you like the outdoor life, this is the place for you. So you can see the campus is located bang smack in the middle of the town, but within very, very close distance of many beaches such as Ross's Point, Strand Hill, Mullockmore, or my favourite beach, which is probably the best kept secret in Sligo, Sligo Beach, which is about a 2 mile sandspit which goes out into the Atlantic Ocean. So all within 5-10 minutes drive from here. Student accommodation, that's the type of accommodation in terms of bespoke student accommodation, all privately owned and managed. We will assist with the booking and reservation system along with our colleagues KOM based in Hamilton, Ontario, generally 2 or 3 bedroom apartments. Each bedroom has its own bathroom and with a shared living space and Wi-Fi utilities all included. Okay, average cost is about €80 per week. Knocknarea Sports Arena, gymnasium, also AstroTurf facilities, synthetic sports facilities, running tracks. So if you're into the outdoor pursuits, you're into sports, the Knocknarea Arena is there for you. Clubs and societies, we have our own international student-led society called the Lecaila International Society. Lecaila is actually Irish or Gaelic for together. So they're always running a suite of events, and I think next week they're actually having an international student cinema evening in the local Omniplex cinema here. So they have a number of events throughout the year. If you want to get involved, make friends early, induction is a great place to start. Sign up for a club or society, whether it's photography, sports, outdoor pursuits, hill walking, whatever your interest is, there's a club or society for you. Starbucks on campus, sorry, no Timmy's, unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Just some useful survival tips. Just touching on a couple of things. So I know that if you have maybe a Rogers plan or back home, I'm not sure how much you'll spend for all you can eat data or unlimited texts or unlimited calls, but we have what's called a 3 mobile network here, and for as little as €20 per month, you get unlimited data, unlimited calls from 3 to 3 customers, and also unlimited texts to any network. So that compares very favorably, I think, with equivalent plans in Canada. German discount retailers Lidl and Aldi, there is an actual free bus put on by the Students' Union here, which goes at least once a week, and will bring you to the discount retailers and bring you back. We've AIB Bank here on campus, so we will assist if you need to open up an Irish bank account here. That's not a problem, we'll assist with that. Student leap cards are available for those of you who wish to travel extensively throughout Ireland. You can do so very cheaply. For argument's sake, just a bus ticket, return ticket direct from Dublin to or from Sligo to Dublin and vice versa is probably as little as €20. And I think a VRL ticket from anywhere from Kingston up to Toronto could be as much as 120 Canadian dollars, whereas for the same price you can fly with Ryanair, which is the discount airline, and you can actually be in any of the mainland cities in Europe for the same price as a VRL ticket from Kingston to Toronto. So definitely plan ahead. Plan ahead in terms of the academic calendar. We breaks in Halloween, breaks at Christmas, and break at Easter. Use that time to plan perhaps to travel to Europe and use the discount airline Ryanair to do so. So there's just some useful survival tips when you get here, and the same suite of opportunities will be available to you, and all of our international students do actually avail of all of these opportunities to travel. So we have about 4,000 full-time students here, of which 10% are international students from over 40 different nationalities. 3 different faculties or schools here, the School of Business and Social Sciences, with 3 different departments within there: business, marketing, tourism and sport, and social sciences, engineering and design. 2 major departments there are civil engineering and construction, computing and creative practices, and then we also have mechanical and electronic engineering. And then within the School of Science, 2 major departments there, environmental science and life sciences, and there actually will be a School of Health Science, or a Department of Health Sciences, which will be opening next fall. So we have lots of different pathways. I'm just going to touch on some. SSW diploma students can transfer get full recognition for 2 years, transfer into year 3 of our 4-year honours degree in social care practice. No bridging or alignment studies. ECE students, I know that we have some who are logged on. You get full credit for your 2 years for your ECE diploma, and you transfer in the 3rd year of our 4-year honours degree programme. So with 2 more years, you can qualify with an honours bachelor degree. There is a placement which is for in year 3, second semester of year 3, and that equates for 30 credits. And you can actually do that here in Ireland, in Europe, or indeed back home in Canada, should you wish. Bachelor of Business in Honours, so I know we have quite a few business admin advanced diploma students here. Online, you can actually transfer into any of the streams in general business, marketing, HRM, finance, tourism, or indeed international marketing into the final year of the programme with no prerequisites required for your transfer. The minimum CGPA we require is 2.0 out of 4, but generally speaking, students who have a CGPA of 3.0 or higher favour very well within our system. Tourism and event management, hospitality pathway available for those students. Tourism and global travel as well. Rec and leisure students transfer in as well. Pharmaceutical science, product development science, lab tech. I know that we have some biotech students on, so if you have an advanced diploma in biotechnology, you can transfer into the 4th and final year of our medical biotechnology program. So you get full credit for your 3 years and you can transfer in. We have some ecosystem management technician students here, so online as well. So if you have a 2-year diploma, you can transfer into the 3rd and final year of our 3-year general degree in environmental protection. And you can then, if you wish, study for an additional year for an honours bachelor degree. So 1 year for a general degree or 2 years for an honours bachelor degree. Environmental technology students, just 1 more year for an environmental science honours degree. So I'm going to quickly go through the pathways. You can see them here as I flick through the various slides. So we've been busy over the last year, and a lot of the 50 students that are currently studying here are studying on all of these programs. So there isn't a cluster of students, for argument's sake, studying business or studying biotechnology or studying early childhood. They're actually studying quite a diverse range of subjects in all of our 3 faculties, whether it's in engineering or design, within business and social sciences, or indeed within our School of Science itself. So I'm going to flick through most of I know that we have some visual arts and creative arts students from St. Lawrence here. We have a pathway into our fine art degree program. So you get full credit for your 2 years. With 1 year of additional study, you can get a level 7 or a 3-year general degree, or you can indeed stay on for a 2nd year, subsequent year. So 2 years in total for an honours fine art degree. And we actually have 2 St. Lawrence students currently enrolled on that program who transferred through from the Diploma in Visual Arts and Creative Arts. Not sure if we have any performing arts students. We have a number of applications actually in from St. Lawrence College students who have music theatre performers who want to transfer into our performing arts, acting STEAM, so they get full credit for the 3 years or transfer through to the 4th and final year. There's actually an error on that slide, so it's the 4th and final year. So I'm going to quickly run through the remaining pathways we have here, and so some will resonate with some of you in the audience. So how and when to apply? You can apply straight away. So if you're in a final year, regardless of whether you have completed all your semesters, please send your photo ID and your current Ontario transcript to our colleagues in KOM Consultants. Just log on the website there at komconsultants.com. You basically just then upload or send in your interim transcript of the results along with your photo ID. If you have a CGPA 2.0 or higher, as I said earlier, 2.4 is a better indicator of success within our system. You need to apply before the 1st of June for September entry. If your transcript of results is an interim one, we can actually issue you with a conditional letter of offer or acceptance straight away. And then once you get your final transcript of results, that's when, and send it in to us, that's when we actually issue you with what is called a non-conditional letter of offer. To reserve your place, we do require a booking deposit of €2,000, which is generally payable on or before the 31st of May or the 30th of June every year, with the balance payable before you arrive here. Okay. So the services of KOM Consultants, who are based in Hamilton, Ontario, you'll see their contact details below you there on the screen. and also in the chat box to the side there. Their services to you, the students, are completely free of charge, and they're basically there to handhold you through the application process. And they also hold a number of pre-departure webinars and that will assist you with things to do and not to do, items to bring, all of those kind of practical issues before you in advance of your travels to Ireland. So that your contact people in KOM are either Sue Dorman or Amelia Brooks. Their contact information is available there on the slide in front of you. Please don't hesitate to contact them. As I said, their services to you are free of charge. There also is a free toll number, which is 1-877-318-8203, or simply email info@komconsultants.com, or you can actually just go to the komconsultants.com website and register your details there. As I say, their services to you are completely free of charge, and they're there to simplify the application process. One thing you may wish to consider is that there is a deal on offer from the Irish national carrier called Aer Lingus. If you email specialdeals@aerlingus.com, they offer flexible return ticket options, so you can change the dates of your travel, and you can save up to 150 Canadian dollars. That's also available for family and friends. There's also a free toll number there in front of you as well, so that might be a consideration for you. Some of the students actually bring family members, arrive early and just tour around Ireland just to get settled in, so that's something that you may wish to do. There's also generous baggage allowances as well for students who fly via Aer Lingus, and if you use that free toll number, or if you email specialdeals@aerlingus.com. So there is an Education in Ireland Student Ambassador Programme. Do follow it online, via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or indeed the YouTube channel. I'm glad to report we actually have 2 Canadian students who have been accepted, who are representing IT Sligo, who are Education in Ireland ambassadors. So we've Sarah, who's from Sinclair College, and Sarah's actually here with us, and she'll speak to you in just a moment. So you can follow her blogs about her living and study abroad experience here in Ireland on any of the social media handles there. It's the Edu Ireland Ambassador blog or the Student Ambassador blog Ireland Facebook page. Feel free to follow Sarah, or indeed, so Sarah's a Sinclair business admin and marketing graduate, advanced diploma graduate, who's studying her honours bachelor degree in marketing, our final year here with us. And we also have Victoria Fisher, who's also an IT Sligo Education Ireland ambassador, who has completed her advanced diploma in biotechnology from Algonquin College, and she is actually in the 4th and final year of a medical biotechnology program here. So feel free to follow the student experiences, and actually contain the picture there. We've Hayley Peliquin, who's a Sinclair graduate and who just completed her honours bachelor degree and finished first actually in a year in the marketing stream in the Bachelor of Business Honours, and is actually now studying at the Michael Smuffet Graduate School of Business and doing a master's based in Dublin, and that's in the top 30 schools in Europe actually in terms of graduate business schools. And we have Kristen Eastman as well, pictured in the photograph, a Science Lab Tech student from Fanshawe College, who also graduated with first class honours in pharmaceutical science here, and was one of our Education ambassadors last year. So if you go on any of those social media handles, you can follow our ambassador blogs from last year and also our ambassador blogs from this year, and you get a good idea of what it's like to live and study here in Sligo in Ireland. Okay, so that's me finished. So if you have any questions, perhaps you might want to type them in the chat box now, before I hand you over to some of our Ontario students here, who can also answer some questions. So I'll open up the chat box to you guys, so feel free to type some questions through, and I'll try and deal with them over the next 5 minutes or so. So don't be shy. Okay, so if there are no questions at the moment, I am going to invite maybe Sarah LeBlanc, who's going to join me in the booth here, and Sarah will just introduce herself, and she will actually then just so Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself to the masses? Say hi.
Hi, I'm Sarah LeBlanc. I'm 4th year business admin marketing, and I came from St. Clair College. So when I got here, I was a little bit worried about getting started, But on my first day, it was just a business stream, and then you got to select which kind of business stream that you went into, if any of you are looking into doing the fourth year add-on. And it's been really great integrating here. Everyone's been really welcoming. There's tons of clubs and societies to get involved in as well, which is a huge difference from the Canadian colleges. There's not a lot. There's literally everything you could imagine here. So it's really great to get involved and meet lots of new people.
So we have a question in from Jan here. How long is the Christmas break? So Sarah, you might want to answer that one because I think you're finishing classes on Friday.
Yep, so our classes are done Friday on the 15th here, and then we're back for exams January 5th.
Okay, so you get a decent break at Christmas. Unfortunately, you have to return for examinations in January, which are generally held at the end of the first week in January and kind of go through the second week and sometimes into the beginning of the third week, depending on your exam timetable. So we have a question from Liam Wolf here. What kinds of resources or services or clubs are there for LGBTQ students? So as far as I'm aware, I think there is an LGBTQ society here. So there's always events going on, regardless of your interest, whether it's in sports, whether it's in photography, or whether it's in the environment, whether it's in hiking or whatever. There's a full suite of those supports available for absolutely everybody. It's an inclusive campus, multicultural campus, and so I think there's an absolute place for everybody to fit in here and also to succeed here. Okay.
There's actually an event a few weeks ago as
well
for the LGBT as well to go get training in that as well.
Okay, cool, yeah. Cool. And was that was well attended?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Great. Good. So maybe you want to speak to about why you decided to come to Sligo, or what you found good and bad, and how you actually got here, what the experience was. Was it easy coming here? The fact you didn't need a visa, any of those things?
So I was kind of trying to decide Ireland between IT Sligo and IT Carlow, and I chose IT Sligo because of the beautiful scenery and all the hiking trails and things like that. There's tons of things to do outdoors. As well, I picked Ireland because it was only 1 year and it was going to be less expensive to actually do the 1 year rather than stay in Canada and do 2 years for the same degree.
So basically, why would you recommend studying here? Is it because it's quicker? You're getting more credit recognition than you would back home?
Yeah, and you definitely get more out of it as well, especially from a business perspective, because the world is so global now. You get to work with students, not just from Ireland, but as well as all of the Erasmus students. So you're working with people from around the world instead of just Canadians.
Okay. And how did you find getting here? Was it easy to get here?
Yeah.
So did you fly direct flights? Direct flights here in Toronto?
So I went from Toronto to Dublin, and then when I arrived in Dublin, there was a bus right outside of the terminal that went straight to Sligo. Pretty easy.
And we got your tickets for you in advance of coming here. Yeah, cool. Okay. So we got a question here from Jacob. If I were to do the third year at Fleming College in the Ecosystem Management Technology Advanced Diploma Program, would he be able to transfer here to the last year in the honours program in environmental science? We have an agreed pathway with Fleming for the 2-year diploma in ecosystem management technician diploma that you can transfer into the third year. I understand the advanced diploma syllabus is currently under review. It was sent over by David Adam Baker. So there is every possibility that the 3-year advanced diploma students will in fact be able to transfer into the fourth and final year. But in the meantime, we can actually look at an application on an individual basis in advance of any formal pathway coming through. So in answer to your question, Jacob, I hope so. There's every possibility you would be accepted onto the fourth and final year, but we just need to have a quick look at the curriculum just to make sure that that's correct in advance of a formal pathway being formally agreed, so to speak. Okay. What's the teaching method like here compared to back home in Windsor or in St. Clair, where you studied previously? Is it similar? Is it different?
It's a little bit different. It was hard to adjust to the, I guess, the grading style. Like the evaluation is a lot different. So to go from being used to getting high 80s and 90s to go to 70 being high, it's really hard to adjust to that. As well, the exams are very heavily weighted here. Most of my classes, the exams are worth 60 or 70% of your final mark, which is a lot of pressure. But it is kind of nice for the students who are doing well in group work to actually be getting good grades and not just carrying people through.
Just a point that Sarah touched on there, the CGPA scale that you will be used to in the Ontario system is completely different compared to the marking system within the Irish University or Institute of Technology system. So we have what's called a first class honours. Probably less than 5, maybe 10% of students within a class would actually get a first class honour, and that is at 70% or higher. Then we have a second class honour grade 1, which would be between 60 and 69%. That's a minimum requirement should you wish to go on at honours bachelor degree level, should you wish to go on and pursue a master's degree. And so we have anecdotal examples of many students who have come from the Ontario college system, who have achieved a second class honour grade 1 or indeed a first class honour, have graduated with those grades at an honours bachelor degree level and are now back home in for argument's sake, a university in Kingston or anywhere else, the local university, where they're actually pursuing an MSc by research. And ordinarily, after they completed their advanced diploma, whether it was in St. Lawrence College or elsewhere, they possibly could have had to take another 3 years before they did an honours bachelor degree and then transferred into the master's, where they've actually done 3+1, 1 year here, and now have gone back and are now enrolled in an MSc at the very same university. So students are succeeding here, they are saving time, and the fact that they've been accepted back for full-time master's programs, and in some instances saving up to 2 years along that process, and speaks to the student learning experience and how successful the students are in transitioning towards the, I suppose, college life or university life here in Ireland. A question from Patricia. Sarah, what are your current living arrangements and how close are you to campus, and did Sligo help you find housing?
So I actually don't live in one of the student accommodations. I did like a residence style living my first year of college, and I really didn't like it. It wasn't for me. So I did find a house actually off campus. So I'm living with a friend from Canada and then 2 other Irish students that we found online. So I live about a 10-minute walk from here, and I pay €325 a month for my house with 3 other people.
Okay, great. So what I'm actually going to do is thank Sarah for your time. Thanks for coming in and speaking about your experience and transferring from St. Clair, how you kind of transition towards a university college life here. And I'm going to invite 2 more students from St. Lawrence College. Actually, before you go, Karen Markovich has just sent in a question. Do you like living 10 minutes away from the college?
Yes. Yeah, it's great. If I have a break, then I can just head home and take a nap. So
good for you. So thanks, Sarah. And I'm going to bring into the booth Beth and Cameron, who are both diploma in ECE graduates from St. Lawrence College, who have transferred here into the 3rd year of our 4-year honours bachelor degree program. So I'm going to invite Beth and Cameron to come into the booth and speak about their student experience here.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Cameron, and
I'm Beth.
Like Patrick said, we're in the ECCE program. So we traveled here as a couple, and we're leaving as a couple too. So I kind of started that off oddly, but we were planning to come to Sligo in June before. Or a year and a half before we actually went. We were only in our first year of our ECE program at home, and we decided to come to IT Sligo just because we saw that it was a efficient way to complete it, and it's also abroad in Ireland. So that was a pretty convincing factor.
Yeah, like Sarah mentioned, for our program, we'll be getting our honors degree in 2 years rather than completing it in 3 or 4 years back home. So that was another advantage to coming here as well. We've done a lot of traveling while we've been here. Patrick, the screens are. Oh.
There we go.
Oh, okay, there we go.
The
Yeah, we've
screen's just
done
in front.
a lot of traveling while we've been here. We actually have a field placement for our program next semester, so we'll have more hands-on experience there.
Where we've traveled, well, we say that we've been to
Paris, Barcelona.
or Valencia, Spain.
Valencia.
It was originally Barcelona.
We're going to Venice and Italy. We actually went on a school field trip to Italy as well for one of our classes.
So if you like traveling, I was never on a plane before I came to Ireland, so it's been a big step, and I think my comfort with travel is a lot greater, I guess.
Yeah, and you learn a lot from traveling as well too, so it's been great. You have a question there?
There's a breakdown there.
No, it was underneath. Liam has a question. Did it help to start planning in your first year? I'm in my first year in fine arts right now.
KOM. Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. I would say so, yeah, just to have an understanding of, like, we understood what kind of courses we'd be taking. We actually talked to other students that were in the year ahead of us that were in the program, so we kind of got to know what to expect once we got here, assignment-wise and course content-wise.
Because it's all on the website. If you go search your course, you can find all the theoretical courses, because courses are changing every year, not drastically, but they may be changing or maybe taking out some if the enrollment is not that high. But yes, all in all, to answer your question, I think it is very beneficial to start planning as early as possible.
We also looked at different kinds of accommodations that they had, like on campus and off campus, and had time to research what would be best for us. We're also living off campus, but we're in a student apartment called Milligan Court that's a 10 to 15 minute walk from campus, and it's more closer to the Sligo town center. We've really enjoyed staying there, and we have our own 1-bedroom apartment there. So.
And it's very nice. It's kind of in the middle of everything. Once you arrive here, you'll realize that everything is about a 10-15 minute walk away.
Yeah.
You're not far from anything, even though when you look on Google Maps, if you're looking that way, it looks a lot bigger than it is.
And there's also buses too, like city bus, well, not really city buses, but the town bus that takes you around anywhere you need to go in the area as well. So it's really easy to navigate around.
So KOM asks, can you give us a breakdown of a typical day at IT Sligo? How many hours are you on campus / class? Did you decide to work part-time? So a typical day, we're here on Mondays from 11 to 6. Tuesdays
9 to 6. Wednesdays we only have one class. Thursday is 11 to 6, and then Fridays we have off. And most programs have, or some programs have Fridays off, so that's a perk as well. But
you don't start until 9 o'clock, so those 8:30 classes
you don't have to
don't exist.
Yeah. And, we decided not to work part time this semester, but
we got OSAP, both of us, and it's helped us out. But I believe it would be easy. There's restaurants all over the place and pubs all over the place if you wanted to look for part-time work.
That's definitely an option. Karen asked, would you recommend going to Ireland to see what everything looks like first, or were you pleased off the bat? We looked up a lot of stuff online beforehand. We kind of wanted to come here first because I was really nervous and wanted to make sure I liked the campus, but after watching these presentations and doing our own research and whatnot, I was fine with coming here, and I loved it when I got here.
Yeah, it would be very expensive to go to Ireland first to come see. It's kind of that leap of faith you need to take, but it's worth it.
It's amazing here, and the people are awesome and everything.
Yeah, everyone's so friendly because it's such a small town. It almost feels like everyone knows everyone.
It's a great community. Is it easy finding off-campus living arrangements that are not affiliated with the school?
So Milligan Place isn't affiliated with the school, but
well, isn't it?
no, it's just called student accommodation. It's
they're on.
It's not hard. You really just have to look it up. And there's Sarah, what app or what website did you use to find your accommodation?
I actually got a Facebook group.
Okay.
Okay.
Or you can use daft.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
yeah, that's true.
So there's there's
Yeah, they have all the websites online to find different apartments that are available in the area. And,
it's somewhat like Kijiji. There's daft.ie, daft
yeah,
.ie.
and myhome.ie as well. We'll have different apartments that are up there for rent.
I hope that answered your question. Sam asked, to go off Karen's question, what did you look up online prior to coming to Ireland? I think we just
like completely navigated the IT Sligo website. We looked up on their website. I'm pretty sure they had links to student accommodations as well. We also got in touch with Patrick, and he gave us email addresses for students that were currently here too. So we got to speak with them and get a sense of how they felt about the school. And one of the girls actually was in Milligan Court, and she took photos for us and shared those with us as well. So it's really good to get connected with students that are already here because they can share a lot of information with you as well.
Yeah, just navigate the website and navigate Google Maps, see what's near you and what would be near you.
KOM was also good too with answering questions, and Patrick's always there to answer questions as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Jacob asks, would some off-campus living arrangements be pet-friendly, as my girlfriend and I have 2 cats?
I think it depends. I don't think with student, the ones with the school, I'm not sure. I don't think so. But
Yeah,
with
the off-campus, if you look up daft.ie and the My Home, it would say
there's
it's
a filter,
yeah,
to say if you would have a pet, and some might be able to accommodate that, but it all depends on which apartments are up for rent.
What else? So our walk to, I think one of the most memorable things for us is our walk to school. We walk from Milligan Place, and then we cut through the
there's a little hospital
the emergency route for the ambulance, but there's a sidewalk. It's not like we're walking in the middle of a emergency route, but you come around the corner and you just see the big mountain Ben Bolbin in the background. We climbed that, and it was
crazy. We actually had a international student field trip to Knocknarea, which is the other big mountain here as well, and it was really cool. Thank you for watching, Chelsea.
And go make some money.
Yeah. What else have we been doing? Also went up to Galway. Like we said, the bus system here is great, and there's the train as well too to get around. It's easy to get to Dublin for whenever we're going traveling, different places in Europe. Keeps flocking out there.
The one thing we noticed right off the bat was the food is incredible.
Oh my gosh! Even the food in the school too. It's crazy. It was way better than anything we had back at home.
We can get a full breakfast for what is it, $4.50?
Yeah.
Insane.
What is the entertainment pub life like for students?
There's 3 full streets of just all pubs, and
live music too is awesome.
Live music's almost every night.
Yeah. And it's not a long walk if you are in accommodations on campus. It's not too far to get to, and for us it's even nicer because we're already in town. So yeah, there's always something going on.
And the Irish here, they party on weekdays because they all come from different places in Ireland, and then they go home on the weekends. So they have their university friends that they go out with during the week, and then they have their
they go back home to their friends after the weekend.
Yeah, so we stayed away from that because there is a lot of you still have schoolwork, but this
where are you going with this?
Yeah, anyways. What is this?
It says the computer's about to restart. Do you just want to hit X, or don't hit restart?
No, it wasn't.
Can you hide? It might just come back though. But yeah, overall though, there's always something to do here, and they even have an ice skating rink downtown right now, and a bunch of lights up and stuff for Christmas, and
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
And to answer your question, Liam, quickly before Patrick kicks us out, was it hard to sort out international OSAP? Not
No,
at all. It's
it
the
was kind
same.
of like the same way as if you were to be attending school in Ontario. You just do it online on the website, and it was very easy. Would you say Ireland's a safe environment to study in? Yeah. Especially like after traveling around other places in Europe, Ireland is super safe. And
There's nothing to worry about ever here. Sorry.
we're both in early childhood care and education, and we did our 2-year ECE diploma at St. Lawrence College in Kingston.
All right.
All right.
Patrick's coming back in. Thank you
you
very
all.
much.
Okay, guys. Big thank you to Beth and Cameron and also Sarah for sharing their study abroad experience here. Just very briefly, just going to conclude by saying thank you all for participating. I will be in Canada visiting many of your campuses from around the 3rd week in January through to the end of the 1st week in February. So if you just get in touch with KOM. They will give you the individual dates in which you'll be on all your campuses. So feel free to come and visit me. Some of those will be at formal pathway fairs, and some will also be just general events or tables where we will be participating on campus, giving out information about your study abroad options here at IT Sligo. Please contact KOM Consultants. So if you log on to komconsultants.com, register your details there, or you call the free toll number, and they will give you information about the dates, where, when, and where we will be on campus. Okay. So, a question from Jen: can you expand quickly on what would happen if there was a strike at the campus? Thankfully, unlike the system you have in Ontario, where academic or faculty staff can stay out for prolonged periods of time, that is not the case in Ireland. Because it is an essential public service, along with first responders, hospitals, police, all of those. If there was a strike here, they're only for individual dates. So a semester would not be compromised, and we have a public bargaining system here where both sides are actually forced into mediation and talks straight away. So that would not happen within the Irish system. Thanks everyone for a great session. This webinar will actually be recorded and available for everybody on the KOM website. So if you want to contact me, myself, my email address is lynch.patrick@itsligo. Feel free to send me a question if you want, or alternatively contact my colleagues Sue, Amelia, or Martin at KOM Consultants. A big thank you to Adam in KOM for facilitating the webinar, and I hope to see as many of you in Ontario in January or February, and hopefully most if not all of you online will decide to apply to IT Sligo. Okay, thanks guys, bye bye.